I will go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jerry Lynn, will you take roll call, please?
Member Castleman?
Present.
Member Sapola? Present. Member Eastwood?
Present.
Member Howdeshell?
Present.
Member Lewis?
Present.
Member Manson?
Present.
Member Seamers, Haddock? They're absent tonight. The staff is present.
I'm present too.
Oh, sorry. Chairman
Okay.
Harris is here as well.
Thank you. I'll call for a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Second.
Somebody has to move it.
I
Someone
moved
has to
it.
make it. You did? Oh, you did? Okay. Monique moved it. Bill seconded it. Do we have any additions or changes tonight? Nope. All in favor? Unanimous. I'll call for a motion to accept the minutes from the October 28, 2014 meeting.
So
Mr.
moved.
Chairman, I have a correction.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say that now?
Yes, you can.
I am not Chairman Lewis. I am Member Lewis. And if you look at the number 4, adopt agenda, it says Chairman Lewis. I mean, I'd love that, but I don't
Okay.
need that responsibility.
Okay. Do you want to make a motion with that change? You don't have, somebody has to make a motion with that change.
I will move that we change the word chairman to member in number 4, adopt agenda. So it would read, Member Lewis moved to adopt the agenda instead of chairman.
If I can, so you're moving to accept the minutes with the change?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to clarify. I'm not challenging, I'm clarifying. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
And I have a second. Any other changes, any discussion? All in favor of the motion with that one change? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get that, Jerry? No? Abstain?
I'll abstain.
2 abstentions. Thank you much. We have 2 people sit in public. Would you guys like to make a comment this evening? Thank you. All right, no public comment this evening. Committee reports. We did talk a little bit this in the work session, but now that we're recorded, let's start with Mr. Rulo, if you can give us a quick summary on the Grounds Committee meeting.
Thank you. On November 5th, the Grounds Committee did meet. We talked about 3 or 4 different projects, that are in the works or up and coming. The main task of the evening was talked about the Hawkridge Park Trail, and I would like to just hit that a little bit later. I got a memo and a presentation set up for new business B. Other projects that we had talked about were the tennis court project, which will come up very soon, probably be working on that project for the early spring. There was a project talked about concrete being poured in front of the park maintenance buildings. It's just gravel over there. We do have some issues. It becomes an issue whenever it comes to snow. Talked about that. That's been kind of put off down the line, but it's something that we did discuss. One of the other main things main projects that was discussed was batting cages. The Park Foundation has approached the Parks Department, and they are thinking about donating some batting cages to the department that would go down at Recreation Park by the baseball complex. So the Parks Department will be looking into that, getting some prices, and hopefully coming to you all before the baseball season with something about that. And the other thing we discussed was just about the fall tree plantings that park staff is doing. We've planted 6 trees over at Memorial Park, and then with the bridging the gap that we had talked about the last meeting, they had gotten a grant from the Dunn family, and those 100 trees were planted along several of the trails with the help of 25 volunteers. So that's pretty much everything that was discussed in our grounds committee. I'd be entertaining any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Rula? Thank you, sir. Mr. McLean, can you talk about the rec committee meeting last month?
Yes, I'll be glad to, Mr. Chairman. Recreation Committee meeting was held on November 25th. At that meeting, our main topic of conversation was sponsorship and advertising with signage possibilities. Right now, our opportunities are just on the baseball field, so the committee discussed opportunities for more sponsorship at Recreation Park, basically adding the soccer complex to the sponsorship packet. Also discussed pricing of our sponsorships and what the opportunities and areas the department is lacking in. So we wanted to build and expand that. The committee requested staff present new sponsorship plan for all activities, and staff will be working on this task and plans to present a new sponsorship advertising plan to the board at the January meeting. Other topics were also revenue streams and trends, just discussing what is trending around in the surrounding areas, and also the feasibility and marketing concepts in our marketing plan, and staff is looking into what we can improve on, and we will follow up with the board on that and follow up with the committee on what we are currently, where our marketing aspects lie for the department and our programs and facilities, how we're presenting those, and what we can do to build and grow that. And that pretty much sums up our meeting, so I will be glad to entertain any questions about the rec committee.
Does anybody have any more questions for Mr. McLean? Nope. Thank you, sir.
Thank
you. I guess we're coming back up to you, though, on staff reports.
Okay. Staff report, as you all have it in front of you, is my written report. I'll just hit a couple of highlights on that. Recreation basketball got underway this week with practices. We have 185 registered participants. We actually added to the program. We started at kindergarten, which we have not done before. We do have at least one team in every division. We will share play with the South Metro Sports Group. Right now, pretty much Belton and Pleasant Hill, or Belton and Peculiar will be the shared play for our divisions. We had our coaches meeting last week. Uniforms will be ordered tomorrow. Games are going to be scheduled starting January 10th. We should end by the first week of March. Pictures have also been scheduled for January 17th and the 24th. Other meetings that I've attended and the recreation coordinator has attended, we attended the NRPA Pro Regis meeting at the Kansas City Southeast Community Center. That meeting is a tool for research, and the department is looking into that possibility. Basically, other cities put in information, and you can populate information without having to send out surveys. You can just log in and ask, and you shall receive what information you're looking for. So looked at that. The recreation coordinator worked with the craft fair, the chamber craft fair, and the mayor's holiday food drive. Attended meetings dealing with the mayor's Christmas tree lighting event as well. Then to follow up special events, we did have the mayor's Christmas tree lighting that staff worked very hard on, and it was last Tuesday. The event had a very good turnout. Also, with that being said, we added our list. The following page is a memo just laying out the months and the events that we currently have slotted for the 2015 special events. So that is about it for the recreation
Anybody have any?
report.
Yes, ma'am.
John, would you elaborate on the advertising and promotion of Winter Youth Futsal League?
Yes. The Youth Futsal League, it will be starting in January, and it will be on Sundays. It is the indoor soccer.
Okay,
For the most part, it is indoor. It's a gymnasium. The ball is heavier than a normal soccer ball, so it doesn't get quite the air and flight that a normal soccer ball does. But we put it in the rec program guide, and we do have it on the web, and we are advertising and opened registration for that.
okay. And is that mixed? Is that boys and girls
Yes,
on the same team or on separate
Yes.
teams?
it's co-ed.
Co-ed?
Co-ed. Yes, yes, correct. Mr. Eastwood is correct. We register by team.
Okay.
So the whole team comes
Comes in.
and we do not take individual registration for that league.
Okay. Do you take care of the refereeing of that? Or,
We have a referee assigner. It's the same assigner that we use for our recreation soccer program.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And, excuse me, one more thing. Where are they playing?
Right now, right now it's looking like Eagle Glen, but one of the local school gymnasiums. We are still, in case of changes,
Okay.
we're not for sure that is locked in.
That's on a Sunday then?
Yes,
What time does that start?
1 o'clock.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other yes, sir.
John, is Dan Mapes still involved with the skate competition? Daniel
Yes.
Mapes?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good.
Okay, just because I know we have a church at Eagle Glen, so usually.
Well, it's not locked into Eagle Glen.
Okay, I'm
yet.
just making sure
Okay.
we're all.
We're still, we can start at any time, and it
Okay.
depends on the league, how many teams as to what time slot we need. If we don't have very many teams, we only need 2 hours versus 5 hours. And
Right.
so we are still in communication with the school district.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
I just don't want to cut that time frame too close because I know we don't get out of there till 12:30 by the time everything's.
Right.
And I hate people coming in and we're trying to take equipment out,
Right.
so.
Right now, that was what the school district originally suggested, was that school. We are not anticipating, there's multiple gyms open on Sundays.
Sure.
So we're not anticipating any conflict at any point with what they already have scheduled or rented at those facilities.
Okay, I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure that was also, I wanted to clarify it for me.
Yes, we are.
And you.
Yes, we are very thorough with that, and so is the school district. I mean, they're well thought out, and they have a grid, and we plug in our spots on the
Okay.
grid.
Any other questions? I have two for you, sir. 185 participants for basketball. Is that up or down from last year?
That is up due to the fact that we started in kindergarten versus fourth grade, but the overall numbers of the older divisions are down just a little bit.
Okay, and the other one is the South Metro Sports Group. We're only doing share play with Peculiar and Belton, but that sports group also includes Harrisonville and Pleasant Hill. Why?
Correct.
I guess there's a reason
To
why
a
we're not
limit.
share playing with everybody.
Well, we might share play, like the older divisions might, because it depends on the number of teams. We take the number of teams. Our scheduling meeting is actually Thursday, and depending on what helps us make a good round-robin game schedule to where everybody plays at least home and away once, the teams, we mix and match to which ones need what. If Belton has 3, we have 3, it makes a good 6 round, then we'll stay that way. If we have, each one of us have 3 and Peculiar has 4 and then Harrisonville has 2, well, it makes sense for those two to stay within
Okay.
a certain driving distance. So
Okay.
that's where
That
it
makes
is.
sense for me. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Mr. Rulo, would you like to give your park superintendent report, please?
Yes, thank you very much. I also did a written report, but just wanted to hit on a couple key items that the park staff have been working on. I think I'd mentioned it a little earlier, but staff did plant 6 perfecta junipers in Memorial Park on the east field. If you all are familiar about that or with that area, there's a house, excuse me, that is right there. And when the some of the football teams practice there, it's a little close to the house. We've lost a few trees in the past years, so he had asked us if we could kind of make that that tree fence there again. So I was very happy with the 6. He was very happy with the junipers that went in. Staff has also finished pouring 3 of the 12 tee pads on the front 9 of the disc golf course, and the park staff is working this week. We've dug all the pads out already, plan on pouring concrete tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday to finish these pads off. And yes, I did say 3 of the 12 on the front 9. There are three holes that actually have 2 different tee pads on for if you want to throw over water or if you don't want to throw over water. And also, just since it's been a while since we met, park staff has winterized all of our outdoor facilities for the season, and they will be opened back up right around Easter. So that's all I have. I'll entertain any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Rulo? Nope. Thank you, sir. Mr. Kennedy is not here this evening, but he did leave a written report in your packet. You can review that later. We will move on to old business. We have none, so we're moving real quickly to new business. Item A, Mr. McLean wants to give a synopsis of the 2014 operations budget. Mr. McLean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was asked to do a budget synopsis so you guys could see where we ended for the year. These are not locked in. They are being currently audited. We are in the audit process with the city auditors, independent auditors, and so we are not finalized on the 2014, but it gives you a very close visual of where our expenses and our revenues came in compared to the last couple of years. Basically, you can run through this and see we were on track with most of our numbers versus what we've done in the past. And I've also given you the fund balance and the projected fund balance at the end of this year. The reason for that projection is to see where we were at. The following memo and action items Steve will explain. It will fall into reflecting back on this fund balance, but the fund balance is a projection as well. This is not a locked-in, done deal. It is, but staff feels comfortable that it is within range of what we will have left at the end of the 2014 fiscal year. Staff plans on presenting an action plan for the current 2015 fiscal year at the January park meeting. The plan will include target dates of completion for the current year's projects and the operational outline. So this just kind of gives you a heads up, and we will be coming to you with more information as it comes in. So it's just kind of a year-end wrap-up. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, no, this is good. Yes, ma'am.
Because I really never know where we get this from. The reserve balance, the 20%. Where do we get the 20% from? Do we get that from the total of our income? Is that where we get
That's how much we pull out as a emergency fund.
But I was wondering, where do we get, how do we get the it's 230,967.
That's 20% of your total expenditures. Isn't it your total expenditures?
Or total income?
I believe this
Mr.
is the,
Fearborn.
Thank you.
May I ask him to come up? I just threw him under the bus. That's not good.
Your starting point for each year is always going to be your beginning fund balance, which if you look at beginning fund balance, it's going to be the combination of the previous year's ending available balance plus the 20% reserve balance. So in this case, when you look at the sheet, to begin 2014, you had a starting fund balance of $522,691, which is a combination of the $205,469 and $317,222 down below. The way we get to the required fund 20% reserve, that is coming out of the total ending fund balance for the year. The reserve amount is calculated as 20% of the operational expenditures of the fund only. If there was a capital project that came out of this fund, that would not, or a transfer that came out of the fund, that would not be considered an operational expenditure. It is purely the operational expenditures of the fund.
So the transfers, the 450,000, that has nothing to do with your reserve balance. Is that what I'm understanding?
Which transfer are you talking about?
I'm talking, if you look at the top.
Oh, at the top. You're unconcerned with the revenues when you get to the 20%.
Okay, so.
The 20% is strictly 20% of what you see under expenditures. In other words, you're trying to keep enough back to cover 20% of your expenditures in the following year in case all of your revenues went away. Is that clear as mud? Any other questions on it?
Clears it up for me.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you, Mr.
questions?
Fearborn.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so the synopsis so far looks good. We'll wait for specific numbers, I guess, but in the meantime, this is kind of where we're at. This is what we work with. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We will move to Mr. Rulo. This was the Hawk Ridge Park. This is the item we discussed in our work session as far as the trails. I don't know if Mr. Rulo needs to explain anything more. I think we kind of decided we were going to send. You want to speak?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just so everybody watching can kind of understand what we're talking about here. During the fiscal year 2014, design consultants Clark Anderson Partners presented to the Park Board and City Council a multi-million-dollar concept for the Hawk Ridge Park. At the June 2014 Park Board meeting, the Park Board directed staff to create a Phase 1 plan using the overall concept presented by the consultants that could be achieved during a portion of current available fund balance. Staff created and presented a multi-year Phase 1 plan. From this plan, the Grounds Committee requested cost estimates for a trail around the lake at Hawk Ridge Park. Staff requested simple quotes and compiled the following. We did get an estimate on an aggregate trail that was 10 foot wide, come in about 80% or $80,000. Sorry about that. There was an 8 foot wide concrete trail that came in about $126,000, and then a 10 foot wide concrete trail which came in approximately $158,000. Staff requests approval to issue an RFP for the construction of a trail around the lake at Hawk Ridge Park to include all three types and sizes of the surfacing. Just a note that shows on the memo, a budget amendment would be necessary from the park sales tax reserve. Currently available in the fund balance is approximately $327,000. That's the end of my memo. Are there any questions that I can answer?
Anybody have any questions? Nope. Yeah, you want to speak? Go ahead.
Yes, I have a motion. I have a motion that staff issue an RFP for the construction of that trail around the lake at Hawk Ridge Park to include 3 types of surface and sizes. And that following would be a 10-foot wide aggregate trail, 8-foot wide aggregate trail, 8-foot wide concrete trail, a 10-foot wide concrete trail, and a 10-foot wide asphalt trail, and an 8-foot wide asphalt trail. And asphalt should include, I believe, prospects of a border in order to maintain some symmetry to it.
Okay, we will do that, and we'll bring this back for the January meeting.
Can we go ahead and take a vote?
Sure, that'd be better.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Do I
I
have a
second.
second? I have a second. Any more discussion?
I'm ready.
All in favor? All right, unanimous. Thank you, sir. Now, you can go ahead and do your work. Okay, do I have any board member comments this evening? No comments this evening. All right, I will call for a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Second?
All right, I have a first and a second. We got to take roll call vote for this one. So, Ms. Sepola.
I am Jenny Sepola.
Oh, you just say, you can just say yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Castleman,
Yes.
Mr. Manson,
Yes.
Mr. Eastwood,
What? Yes.
Ms. Howdy Show,
Yes.
Ms. Lewis,
Yeah.
Chairman Harris, yes. Okay, in executive session. Thank you.